There have been a lot of exciting developments in Bronx politics recently, and I'm sure that our readers are following with bated breath. We had a story yesterday about potential challengers to Congressman Serrano. One of them was mentioned as possibly your father. Another one was Councilwoman Annabelle Palma. What do you think about the possibility of a rare primary challenge to the congressman?
I'll tell you one thing. I don't think that Reverend Diaz is going to be challenging the congressman. I know that when primaries are not necessarily a bad thing. It allows for a robust debate as to where we're going and how is it that we can make Washington more accessible and accountable to the Bronx. Annabelle Palmer is someone that I've worked with closely for so many years. She was, before the redistricting, she was my city councilwoman. And we did a lot of great work, and she's the co-author on my living wage bill. So I think that she said that she's considering it. And we'll see what happens. One thing is to say that you're running for office. The other thing is actually getting on the ballot. The congressman has experienced a certain luxury of not having a primary since like 1990. And maybe this is not, if he had a primary, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing for him. Look, I had a primary last year. And I think whenever you have primaries, the biggest beneficiary is the citizens. The electorate, because now you have the incumbent or the insurgent bringing up issues that otherwise would not be brought up. So it'll be interesting. Stay tuned.
Okay, we certainly will. On City and State's NYC Power 100 list this year, we had you moving up, and we had Bronx Democratic County Chair Carl Heastie moving down, and that was in response to the outcome of the speaker's race, where Assemblyman Heastie supported Dan Garodnick. Do you think that Assemblyman Heastie has been damaged, the strength of his leadership, by the outcome of the speaker's race?
I don't think so. First of all, understand that Carl has united the party. There's been a certain harmony under his chairmanship. There's been a new caliber of leadership coming out of the Bronx. When you look at individuals like Marcos Crespo in the Assembly, State Senator Gustavo Rivera, Vanessa Gibson, you see a good caliber of individuals that are coming out of the borough, and that's in large in part to the leadership of Carl Heastie. And you look at his success in last year's elections, and I think that he's going to be even more successful as a chairman in this year's election. For him to stick with his delegation, I think he won even more approval locally, and technically the Bronx voted for Melissa. We look forward to moving forward, and she is representing half her district is in the Bronx, but I don't think that Carl has been diminished in any way, shape, or form.
What do you think about?
He's the chair of labor. He's a senior member in Albany. He's a smart, affable guy, smart with the numbers. A lot of people look to Chairman Heastie for leadership.
Well, and it was precisely because Assemblyman Heastie is so impactful in Albany that a number of people said that it may have been an unwise move for what is perceived as the mayor bigfooting the speaker process and really coming in so hard for Speaker MarkViverito, when traditionally that type of decision was made by the county leaders and in large part dictated by the way that the Bronx went. What do you think about the way that whole speaker race played out?
That's all above my pay grade. But I tell you what, we are certainly proud of the fact that Melissa MarkViverito is the first Puerto Rican to ascend to such a position of the speakership of the New York City Council. We look forward to working with her. I was at her inauguration last week. It was a packed house. I hosted. It was the first time that a speaker was sworn in the Bronx. And so there is this level of camaraderie and we want to move forward. Obviously, in working with each other, there'll be disagreements as to how we approach certain situations, but the outcome, we believe, was one that we can all be proud of, where we have someone as smart, as thoughtful, as caring, and in Melissa MarkViverito. And it doesn't hurt that she's a woman, that she's Latina, she's Puerto Rican, and that she represents portions of the Bronx.
Were there any bad feelings among the Bronx delegation that freshman councilman Richie Torres so publicly broke from the rest of the delegation?
No, I just think that we were shocked. People were shocked. They were blindsided because the person who we believe brought Richie to the dance is Jimmy Vaca.
That's why it would seem like such a surprising decision.
So I thought that if nothing else, Jimmy Vaca, who also wanted to be speaker, and that's, that was part of what was happening in the Bronx. We had Jimmy Vaca and Annabelle Palmer. It wasn't so easy for us, or for the chairman rather, and the delegation, because they had other colleagues who wanted to be speaker. But we thought, if nothing else, Jimmy Vaca should have 2 votes. And Richie Torres was that. So it just, but again, we're moving ahead. We're moving past it. And the Bronx, once again, is one big happy family.
And lastly, I wanted to ask you, my columnist, Michael Benjamin, is contemplating running for his old seat. I said that his campaign slogan should be, "I'm the only person who's represented this seat who isn't in prison." What do you think about that? I mean, do you think that you could get behind, Michael Benjamin again trying to make a play for the assembly? I know that he's been kind of an outspoken voice, very much his own man.
First of all, and I know I chuckled, let me, in a serious way, address, some of the corruption that we've seen with individuals in the Bronx. I think that those individuals who have been convicted deserve it, that that there's no room for corruption, that it hurts all of us. So there's a lot of healing that needs to happen in this district. I serve with Michael Benjamin. He's someone who has a good head on his shoulder. He's known to be articulate and smart, has a wealth of knowledge and experience. And I think that he has a lot to offer. Being away from the seat and wanting to come back, I haven't had a conversation with Michael Benjamin. I know that now is the time where the county chairman, and depending on the district leaders in the different seats, that those conversations will be had. And so if he's interested, I guess he'll be having those conversations. But again, he is one of many individuals like Marsha Michaels, there is Michael Blake, there's a number of individuals who are interested in the seat, all of them who have a lot to offer, all of them who are smart and articulate, and that will help the healing process moving forward and help restore the confidence in the elected officials because of what they're going through now with the current assembly member.
Well, Michael, if you're watching, I look forward to firing you if you declare your candidacy. And Borough President Diaz, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity, and congratulations, and thank you for placing me on the Power 100.
You moved up.
Just like you guys are here in these new digs.